Good morning, everyone. We'll get started. Just gonna play. Hey, good morning, everyone. All right, my name is Devin Murphy. I'm the mayor of the city of Pinole. Good morning. This is the West County Mayors and Supervisors Association meeting for Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. And I now call the meeting to order. If you are willing and able, please stand for the pledge. Thank you. This is our first meeting of 2023, so I want to welcome those who are in our chambers and also welcome those who are online. Thank you so much for coming and looking forward to a wonderful year together. Our first item is going to be roll call and self-introductions. So we will go through each roll call, but also take a moment of just acknowledging all the new mayors that we have in West County, as well as our supervisors. So City Clerk Bell, can we go through the roll call and perhaps, if you have some words to say, we would love to hear from the mayors online and of course in person.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I'll go through the roll. So Supervisor Glover. I believe I saw him online. We'll come back around. Supervisor John Joya.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good
Looking forward to
morning.
working with all of you this year.
Thank you. Mayor Martinez.
Here.
Mayor Motoyama.
Here.
Mayor Pineda. With us. Okay, so I'm going to mark, noting for the record that he is not with us this morning, and Mayor Walker Griffin.
Present, but I do see one of the members from the San Pablo City Council raising their hand.
Wonderful. We will promote them, and then Mayor Murphy.
Here.
Okay, that concludes the roll. Thank you.
I do want to take a moment just to acknowledge the member from the San Pablo City Council, if they'd like to say.
Absolutely. Let's see.
Thank you, Mayor Walker Griffin.
Okay, I'm going to ask for help with providing that name.
Good morning. This is Vice Mayor Patricia Ponce from San Pablo.
Thank you.
Good morning, Vice Mayor Ponce.
Morning.
Great. So again, this is our first meeting. Congratulations to all of our new mayors as well as our supervisors. I am looking forward to working with you all. I think we've already got started this year, but we wanted to take a moment if each mayor wanted to make a couple of remarks. It's a new year, so we wanted to give you all opportunity. So perhaps we just go through the list again and give a couple. Yeah, feel free to make a statement, and we don't have to either.
Thank you. We'll start with Supervisor Joya, John Joya.
Oh, start with the mayors. Start with it's mayors and supervisors.
And
Start with them
supervisors,
first.
of course. Okay.
Okay, we'll reverse the order then. We'll start with Mayor Walker Griffin. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and thank you, Mayor Murphy. I'm Alex Walker Griffin, Mayor of Hercules. I'm really excited to be here and collaborate with all of you on this. A little about myself. I'm about as West Contra Costa as you can get, from kindergarten all the way to graduation, and even before then I've lived in this area and was born in Oakland. So a lot of this work is really personal to me, and I look forward to getting to know all of you even more on a deeper and more personal level.
Thank you. Mayor Motoyama.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a cough this morning. Thank you, Mayor Murphy. I'm so excited to finally be able to participate in this. It's very exciting. I'm a first-time mayor for El Cerrito. I'm the first Japanese American mayor in El Cerrito. We've really kicked off this year as a council with our council retreat, and we have some big plans to get a lot of work done this year. So I look forward to collaborating with everyone and getting to know you all better. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Martinez.
Yes, I want to show special thanks to Mayor Murphy for hosting. And it illustrates the kind of collaboration that we're going to have in the future, not only between Pinole and the city of Richmond, but also Hercules, San Pablo, El Cerrito. I see us working on things regionally, and this is just an illustration of how we will support each other when that support is needed. I'm a retired elementary school teacher, taught at West Contra Costa Unified School District, and served on the city council for 8 years. I'm the first elected Latinx mayor in the city of Richmond, and I'm here to support everyone. I want to make sure that not only we have one Richmond, but we have one West Contra Costa Unified District.
Thank you. San Pablo Councilmember Ponce.
Hello, our Vice Mayor Pineda couldn't be here today with all of you, but I am here in representation of San Pablo. I guess I'll say a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Richmond, moved to San Pablo many, many years ago, and just started advocating at my children's elementary school, and here I am. I'm very honored to represent San Pablo. And this year, San Pablo will be celebrating their 75th year. So we're very excited about that. There's a lot of events happening around that. And yeah, just here stepping in for Mayor Pineda. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Murphy.
Good morning again. It's great to see so many folks in the audience as well as folks online. I'm Mayor Devin T. Murphy. I'm the mayor for the city of Pinole. This year, I was first elected 2 years ago. So this is an exciting time for me to connect with so many new mayors and of course a new Richmond mayor as well. So I think we have so much in common around some of the issues that are impacting our communities, from housing to protection of the environment. I think many of us, because I have worked with you all in so many different spaces, regional agencies, we understand the urgent need to address some of the most pressing issues in our community. And the West County Mayors and Supervisors Association can truly be an opportunity for us to stick strongly together and continue to stay aware of some of those most pressing issues in the communities they impact. So my background, I grew up in San Francisco. I moved to Pinole probably now it's 26 years. I didn't have a choice to move to Pinole, but it was a fun decision in the long run. And so I'm really honored to serve as mayor this year and provide our residents with an opportunity to engage in their government. And part of that process for me as a strategic communications consultant is helping and supporting our city lead in some of our communications and public engagement work around many issues. Again, housing, economic development, information technology, transportation, and many more. So I look forward to, again, working with all the mayors and of course our county supervisors as well to make sure we get the job done. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go to Supervisor Glover next.
Good morning. And thank you for the invite to be here today. I only represent at this time Hercules within the West County region, but I work very collaboratively with my colleague, John Joya. We know that our ends of the county are very similar. I call us the bookends. And so I want to be able to be supportive of the actions that take place there and continue to work closely with my colleague to make sure that the issues that are of concern of the West County region that we help in any way that we can as county supervisors. So I thank you for the invitation to be here today, and just know that if my presence not here, they are in the voice of my colleague at all times.
Thank you. And Supervisor Joya.
It's always great to work with our local cities and mayors, and I know, so congratulations to all of you, to Eduardo, who'll be here, of course, for 4 years, and the others who will be here for the next year. And just to say, I've been honored and proud to represent West Contra Costa on the Board of Supervisors in 1999. And like many of you, I grew up in this community since I was 11, and my dad was a high school teacher in Richmond and inspired me to be involved in civic engagement. And for me, it's really always about the partnerships we have between city governments and the county. I think we have a lot of very good partnerships between the county and our cities. I'll talk a bit about a couple of things later on in the agenda under our announcement time. And I want to acknowledge, as Federal said, we really are a team. Federal and I talk together on issues regarding West County. Federal has Hercules, Rodeo, Crockett. I have everything from Pinole in. My district keeps creeping out further east. Although I used to represent all of West Contra Costa County when I was on the East Bay Mud Board in the 1990s. My district went out to Crockett, and it's great to see new youth generation of mayoral leadership. And I just want to make sure all of you know, whenever there are county related issues or not, that please reach out to me. And it is really important to continue to strengthen, maintain and strengthen the partnerships that we have between city and county government. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you over the year.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you all again for being here, being in the audience and being online. We will move forward with our agenda and continue to item number 2, which is communications from members of the public. This meeting is being held in a hybrid format, both in person and via Zoom webinar. Public comments are submitted in one of the following ways: via Zoom, if you're on Zoom, using the raise hand icon to request to speak. And if you're joining by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand. And when prompted by the host, our city clerk, push *6 to unmute or mute. And again, comments are asked to be limited to 3 minutes. Of course, if you would like to write a written comment, please email that to comment@ci.pinole.ca.us. And if you can, please use the subject line public comments -WCMSA. And of course, if you're a person and attending, please submit a yellow comment card to our city clerk. We'd love to hear from you. So, Madam City Clerk, are there any comments from the public?
Thank you. We do have 2 online comments, so I'm going to introduce Deputy City Clerk Roxanne Stone to take those, please.
Thank you. We'll start with Marty Roach. Hi, good morning, mayors and all others who are present today. I'm Marty Roach. I am with 350 Contra Costa. We are a grassroots county organization that focuses on promoting local policy solutions to the climate crisis that also bring health, safety, and economic prosperity to our county. And I want to thank Mayor Murphy for letting us know about this meeting so we can tell you about a conference that we're planning with other groups. The conference is named Contra Costa County and the Inflation Reduction Act. It's going to be held on May 18th. I'm going to ask the mayor to drop, I don't see a chat function for myself, so I hope the mayor's going to be able to drop a little description flyer in the chat at the end of my comment here, so you'll have a little more detail. But this conference is being hosted by 350 Contra Costa, Diablo Valley College, and Greenbelt Alliance. We also hope that Los Medanos and Contra Costa College will be joining us as organizers and hosts of the conference. This conference is for all of you. It's for elected leaders. It's for staff of our county and cities. It's for clean tech business, the labor trades, low-income housing providers, and for community groups who also are key to us moving on the opportunities that are in the Inflation Reduction Act. We have a particular emphasis on East and West County communities, and we're doing a lot of outreach and work to make sure that we can use this opportunity to stimulate ideas for more resource building in our community in East and West County. The conference is going to focus it's May 18th, so there will be new information at that time about funding that's already occurred and the funding that's in the pipeline. It's an opportunity for us to learn and to network there's so many billions of dollars coming into our state, but the localities and the counties that get the most are those that are going to be organized and positioned. And I know all of you are very much following this. So we see this conference as a way to support you. There will be outside experts, and we're also going to have plenty of time for using our talent and information that exists within the county. So 3 things. We hope you will mark this date and plan to attend. It is an in-person meeting. We hope you'll be a partner. We have partners as a way to build momentum for this conference. By being a partner, you agree to send at least 1 person and to promote this event to other organizations in the community that are appropriate to attend. And lastly, we are reaching out to many of you, and I encourage you to reach out to me. My email is going to be in the document that hopefully Mayor Murphy can drop into chat, or we can find a way to send out to all of you after this meeting. I will leave it at there. I hope I've described it well enough. We're very excited at an opportunity to bring all of us in the county together, network, and get organized to take advantage of this landmark legislation. Thank you.
Can I say something to Marty, just briefly, just to acknowledge something on that?
Sure, Supervisor Joy.
Marty, thanks for raising that. Just so you know, Supervisor Glover and I, a couple of weeks ago, were at the National Association of Counties Legislative Conference in Washington. And I know I attended a pretty comprehensive session one afternoon on the Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, we've been familiar with it, but I have a fair amount of materials. I'm actually putting a memo together, working with our county departments on some of that. I'm glad to pass on to you the information. There's some really good, easily accessible websites, as well as sort of charts that I could get you as we're all becoming familiar with it. And so thanks for doing that. And just maybe we should connect up offline.
Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Roach, for your comment. I'll email out what you sent me to the mayors, and hopefully they'll send it to their teams as well. Are there any other comments from the public?
Yes, Ryan Lau.
Good morning, mayors and supervisors. Since everybody else was introducing themselves, I thought I would as well, since we have new mayors on the board. Ryan Lau, External Affairs Representative with AC Transit. We're a bus operator in the East Bay. We're actually the largest bus-only public transit agency in the state of California. Excuse me, I'm running up and down the stairs. We have the oldest fuel cell public transit fleets in the country, as well as the largest. And just wanted to introduce ourselves. We're actually, and you all are probably very familiar with the fact that public transit has been hit pretty hard by the pandemic, and with hybrid and remote work and just changing transportation patterns. There's been a lot of changes in that system. And so we're actually on the precipice of embarking on kind of a reimagining of our system. And so we're going to be launching a series of meetings, and we're going to make sure to invite everybody on this board, as well as your colleagues on your respective boards. So just wanted to flag that, just to sense of what we're planning for the future and how we're adapting to the differing transportation patterns, and also just get feedback from you all, and also encourage you to share that with your network. So just thought I would introduce myself and flag that for the group. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments from the public?
Yes, Jamila Smith Folds.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jamila Smith Folds. I am the board clerk for WCC USD School Board. I just wanted to say good morning, and I wanted to personally thank Mayor Murphy for the invitation, and also all the beautiful work he does with West Contra Costa Unified School District and making the school and the city as one. It is something to be modeled. It is something to be admired. And I want to have that relationship with all the mayors in West Contra Costa Unified School District, because together we can really impact the community in a positive way. If you ever need anything, or you want to visit schools, or to have any type of conversations about our school district, please feel free to reach out to me. I am readily available. Mayor Murphy has my information, as does Mayor Walker Griffith. Thank you again. I'm looking forward to being in attendance at this meeting, and have a very good morning. I'm complete.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments from the public?
Yes, Andrew Clow.
Yes, yes, thank you. I'm Andrew Cloud, the Deputy General Manager for West County Wastewater. Appreciate being invited, being able to listen in. West County Wastewater, we're undergoing a significant transformation of our infrastructure that will reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by over 90% and significantly improve our ability to generate electricity on site, as well as working with the North Richmond community and many of the agencies involved on trying to develop some sort of shoreline protection along the North Richmond shoreline, working with many outside agencies and trying to bring in funding to create some protections. Look forward to working with everybody.
Thank you. Next comment.
Sebastian Khan.
Good morning. Thank you. Sebastian Khan. I'm a Senior Community Development Manager with MCE. Thank you to Mayor Murphy for the invitation this morning. MCE is a not-for-profit public agency. We serve about 330,000 customers in Contra Costa County with clean, renewable energy. And excited to get to work with all of you. I know there are several members that serve on our board of directors, Mayor Murphy, Supervisor Joya, Councilmember Ponce, and if I'm missing any others, excuse me. But yeah, excited to work with West Contra Costa County, and thank you all for your environmental leadership and providing renewable energy to your communities. Thank you.
All right, I think we have more public comments.
Yes, Cheryl Sadu.
Good morning. Cheryl said it. Current president of the board of directors of West County Wastewater, and also of our affiliating JPA with City of Richmond. I thank you, Mayor, for putting together today's event, for inviting so many of us to participate, to collaborate, and coordinate our efforts. I too work a lot with the IRA as well as the infrastructure bill. We're headed to DC next week to work with many of our East Bay contingency to talk about what we can do with many of the earmarked deadlines coming up. So I think this is a great time to have this meeting, and I'm looking forward to some follow-up meetings. I'm working with you, and working together with 350 Contra Costa and climate leaders. I think this is a wonderful, wonderful idea. And I'm looking forward to how we can all work together instead of in separate silos to continue our work with the environmental funds, but also bringing together the school districts. And this is just a fantastic idea. So thank you so much for this work, and Supervisors Joya and collaborators as well. So thank you. And let's get to work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just giving it one more second. Looks like there are no more public comments.
Thank you. Do we have any other comments from members of the public in the chambers? Nope. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you all so much for being here, again, virtually and in person, and thank you for making the comments you did. We invite the public to all of our meetings, so we appreciate hearing from you. Next, we go to item number 3, which is presentations and reports. This morning, we don't have any presentations or reports, so perhaps we will in our next meeting, which brings us to item number 4, general business. The first item is a discussion and action item around the establishment of ad hoc bylaw and governance committee. I'll open up this conversation and perhaps we do take some action, but I just wanted to offer some of context, I think limited context that I have, but there are very limited bylaws for this association. I think we have all talked as mayors in some way around how to maybe perhaps settle or formalize on a structure here. But I wanted to see how it landed with the group around developing an ad hoc bylaw and governance committee. The committee would be responsible for developing bylaws for this group, perhaps also identifying some other issue areas that we can think about transition a little bit better for some of the successors we have. Again, yeah, just wanted to open it up to the mayors to either discuss, provide other ideas or even make some comments on that. So,
If I might.
please, Mayor.
Generally, when I join a group, the first thing I look for are bylaws, scope of authority or interest, and I didn't find that when I joined this group, and it makes it easier for new people to know exactly how the meetings run, what the scope of authority might be, and what the intentions of the body is. So I'm hoping that we could have some sort of preamble, some sort of way to let future mayors be able to step into this role a lot easier. For instance, I didn't realize that it was my city that was responsible for hosting this meeting at the beginning of my term. And if there had have been some mechanism to make me aware of that, I would have done so. But through the graciousness and the collaboration of the city of Pinole and especially Mayor Murphy, he took on the responsibility to enable me to get into the other responsibilities of being the mayor of Richmond. So I would welcome an ad hoc committee to establish this.
Thank you, Mayor Martinez. Any other comments?
Mayor Murphy?
Yes, please, Mayor Walker-Griffin.
Yes, thank you. I'm perfectly fine with it. My only question is, do we have a template from the past that we've used? Because in the case that we do, I think that'll be a little easier to just go off of that rather than potentially having to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I don't personally have a template. That's why I kind of wanted to open up to see maybe also the research, right, that we can all do in our own cities. My understanding, mostly through my city clerk, has been that the city clerks have every 6 months that a city holds these meetings, the city clerks have usually kind of kept the file or records of the minutes. But outside of that, I'm not too sure. Maybe our cities, if we do some due diligence, maybe a little bit of each of our cities can find some of that background information. So I agree, Mayor Walker-Griffin, for sure.
Will do. I'll start asking around.
Yes, Mayor Motoyama.
Thank you, Mayor Murphy. So I have that was my first question to see if there were existing bylaws, but it sounds like there aren't any. So I'll check with our city clerk as well. The other question I have for you is this the type of meeting that falls under the Brown Act remote meeting requirements? And just to get clarity on that, is this the type of meeting that could potentially continue as remote hybrid, or is it under the Brown Act changes?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I don't have an answer to that question. I think this would also be the committee, or perhaps even us as a group can decide how we want to move forward with that. I see Supervisor Joy. Did you want to mention something?
Yeah, no, when you're done with your comment, I was going to partially answer, I think, Mayor Motoyama's question.
That'd be great. Thank you, Supervisor Joya.
So I know the history is we've been a Brown Act body over the years. I think these meetings are run as Brown Act meetings, which makes sense. And so what I'd suggest, given that Pinol's hosting it, to work with your city attorney in Pinol to make sure we're following, or whoever else, one of the other city attorneys. My understanding is that under Brown Act and MCE, as you know, Devin is doing this, that if it can be set up where to count the quorum, people can go, if they can't make it to their to the host location, they can participate from their own city hall. And as long as that address is published on the agenda and the public is allowed to be there, there is an unlimited number of times that you can participate that way, because I guess under the traditional Brown Act rules, we've been looking into this at the county as well. As long as all of us are within the jurisdiction, and the jurisdiction is West Contra Costa, our respective jurisdictions. So as long as we are all participating from within the jurisdiction, each of our locations count towards the quorum. So again, something to work on with your city attorney. That way we can continue to have the choice on the meetings to either go to the in-person location or go to our respective, like either my office or El Cerrito, City Hall, Richmond, San Pablo, Hercules, or show up in person. So I just wanted to add that. And I know that all takes effect next month. So we sort of have to work on this quickly. I'm sure the city attorneys for each of the cities are familiar with sort of how to apply the Brown Act exceptions.
Thank you, Supervisor Joya. Are there any other comments? Yes, City Clerk Bell.
Oh, thank you. And I just wanted to follow up. Thank you for summarizing that, Supervisor Joya. We're actually here in the city of Pinole already working on a memo that advises council about the changes to Brown Act. So it'll be a very easy pivot to just prepare something for this group as well that follows suit. So I'm happy to.
Yeah, the unique thing that I learned was that I thought we all had to be a quorum at one location in order to have remote participation, but apparently because the jurisdiction we operate from is West Contra Costa, each of our city halls or offices could be counted toward that quorum.
That is very interesting. Thank you.
Of course. Yes, MCE meetings are always fun. We learn a lot of new things, including Brown Act updates. So, okay, so it sounds like there's generally support for a bylaw governance committee, or maybe even we engage in each other. Are there other folks who are interested in chairing that or leading on that? I just wanted to bring it to our attention at the board meeting. I wasn't necessarily saying I needed to lead on that piece. I'm wondering if other folks are interested or have excitement around bylaws.
Well, since it was one of my concerns, I'd be willing to chair that meeting.
Thank you, Mayor Martinez. That'd be great. All right, anyone else?
I'd like to participate.
Great.
Likewise.
All right. If it's Brown Act, does that mean are 3 mayors allowed to get excited and jump in? Is that okay, City Clerk Bell? Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Are there any other thoughts or
Question about the Brown Act. Would this ad hoc committee be under Brown Act rules?
City Clerk Bill, please take that.
Because it's less than a quorum, I think we're okay to not have it be under Brown Act. That way you can meet without the noticing requirement.
Okay, thank you.
Gotcha. So up to the quorum includes also the supervisors, just to clarify. So that would be 3 out of, if I can do my math, 3 out of 7. Perfect. Thank you. Great. Any other comments on this item? Wonderful. All right, we'll keep going. Our next item is item 4B, which is approval of 2023 calendar. I wanted to again bring up this one, just to make sure we're all in sync, and if there are any concerns about meeting on the fourth Thursday of the month at 8:30, from 8:30 to 10 a.m., just bringing that and asking about how that landed with the mayors and supervisors.
Fine with me, Mr. Mayor.
Sounds good? Great,
Sounds good.
great. So that means our next meeting would be March 23rd. There are some considerations about our November meeting. Are there any changes to that November meeting? So perhaps that may land on a Thanksgiving of this year.
And Mayor, I did want to also flag one conflict for next month. I believe it's a State of Cities event at the same time that this meeting occurs. So in the past, if there's been conflicts, we've done just a different day or different time or canceled the meeting. So just wanted to raise that. But I think so. The city clerk is referencing the Bayfront Chambers State of the Cities event, in which Mayor Walker Griffin and I will be participating. I think that could be an opportunity for our mayor pro tems to be a part of it, if that's okay with the rest of the mayors. There is some overlap. We may be able to make it back, but at least if you all would like to meet and continue that meeting, I'm happy to add that and keep that on the calendar. Does that sound good for the other mayors and supervisors?
That works for me.
Great. Okay. And the consideration about November, just wanted to circle back on that. How do folks feel about that? Do we want to cancel that meeting, or is that overlapping with Thanksgiving?
I'm fine with canceling it,
Okay.
but I will note that I may have to send someone in my place for the March meeting.
That makes sense. Mayor Walker Griffin, thank you. Great. And then just to make sure in terms of hosting, how do we feel about the hosting for March through June, I believe it is. So, and then that's what it would switch over. So right now, I think we had discussed Mayor Martinez. We have City of Richmond is hosting January through June, and I believe July through December would move to San Pablo. And then for the rest of the year, is that okay with folks, or do we want to seek any changes there? It's fine. Great.
It's fine with me.
All right. Sounds good. Wonderful. So the next item is item number 5, which is items for future meetings. Are there any future meetings item folks would like to bring up? Presentations. Mayor Martinez?
I think a conversation around sea level rise and how it affects the shoreline that we all share would be a topic that should be looked at. Okay. I can try to get Dr. Hill from UC Berkeley to make a presentation.
Great. And we'll just take note of all of these and I guess decide how they map out in the future on our agendas. That'd be great.
Okay.
Any other items? Yes, Supervisor Joya?
Yeah, before I mention the one I was going to, I agree with Mayor Martinez. And, I'm glad I serve on BCDC, which has been sort of the lead regional agency in the Bay Area addressing sea level rise. In fact, they've done a shoreline vulnerability assessment of the Contra Costa shoreline. And then we've got a local electeds work group from around the Bay Area, in which both council member Cesar Zepeda from Richmond and the mayor of Martinez are on that. It has to be 2 from every county. And I'm sharing that effort. So Bay Area wide. And I think it would make sense to get, in addition to who Eduardo mentioned, BCDC staff, since BCDC wants to make presentations in all the regions around the Bay Area and has some regulatory authority on this. So, and it has already done a study of the Contra Costa West, the whole shoreline. So I think that's a great suggestion, and let me know when you put this together and we'll get BCDC and it'll be a good way to get more input from the mayors here. The item I was going to mention, in fact, I know next Tuesday, our health department is making a presentation to the Richmond City Council on the 24/7 mental health crisis response effort that we're funding countywide, called A3, sort of like mental health crisis services anywhere, anytime for anyone. And I think it may make sense to have the health department present to the cities. And if you want more detail on it as well, can be presentations to your council, because it is going to operate in all 19 cities and the unincorporated area. And it's the ability to call 211, 911, whatever, to get mental health crisis response within 10 to 15 minutes. And Richmond and some other cities have been working on wanting to complement it with some additional services. And that's why we're at the Richmond City Council next Tuesday. But I think that would be a good one as well.
Thank you, Supervisor Joya. Mayor Motoyama.
Thank you. To follow along on that, I would love to have a session on how we're doing a regional way of addressing homelessness and the unhoused, and including things like A3, and because it's an issue that's much bigger than our individual jurisdictions, and it'd be really great to have us all be in coordination and know what kinds of programs and services other cities are doing so that we could work together more closely.
Absolutely. Any other items for future meetings? Not seeing any. That looks like we got a large bucket ahead of us this year. So looking forward to talking and working on these issues together. That being said, we'll just open it up for item number 6, which is mayors and supervisors times and mayor's conference item. Any items this evening that folks would like to mention that haven't been mentioned already? Supervisor Joya?
And Devin, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned it. So in the spirit of partnerships, on April the 4th, right, the city of Pinole and Contra Costa County Fire are doing, unless you're going to say something about it, Devin, but I'll just say briefly, are doing a joint ribbon cutting for the reopened Pinole Valley Fire Station. And it's just an example of a partnership between the county and the city, where we're using Measure X sales tax money to reopen closed fire stations around the county, and in a new contract arrangement between Pinole and Con Fire, where County Fire will be providing fire services in Pinole under a contract with the city. It's been a great partnership working with the city of Pinole. So that is coming up on the 4th. I want to say the county is working with the city of Richmond to locate a FEMA mobile disaster trailer that would be sited in Richmond for a few days to allow residents in West County a location to go to meet with FEMA for reimbursements. And I know that'll get publicized once it's open, but the County Office of Emergency Services is working with the city in partnership. I wanted to acknowledge, because part of what I think what's been great is the partnerships that exist between our agencies, and the city of San Pablo, in partnership with the city of San Pablo, we're building a 60-unit very low income housing project that is for previously unhoused individuals, and there will be it's permanent housing, and there will be supportive services on site 24 hours a day for these residents who can live independently with services. And the idea is taking individuals who've been unhoused and getting them into permanent housing. And we see that really as the ultimate goal we all want to achieve. And so we're setting aside about $12 million a year out of Measure X funds to create a housing trust fund that's funding programs like this in the cities and in unincorporated areas, and looking forward to more projects like that, like the one in San Pablo. And I know I just want to acknowledge El Cerrito's effort to include a library in its new El Cerrito Plaza BART station, and and county's looking forward to supporting that effort with regard to the library. Sure. Oh, and then every jurisdiction that is has an area that faces the while we're urban interface wildland fire area. We also are using Measure X funding to fund vegetation removal and control along like the East Bay Hills or where our cities and communities touch areas that are wildfire risks. And so I know that the county fire agency is working with each of the fire agencies, whether it's Richmond Fire, El Cerrito, Kensington, and of course Pinole, with that program to provide funding to help on that. So those are just some issues for cities.
Thank you, Supervisor Joya. And just to make sure we have that on note, that date is March 4th, and we invite the community out. I believe most of the mayors received an invite from our city. So if you would, first of all, thank you again for the partnership between Contra Costa Fire Protection District and the city of Pinole. We are really excited about our March 1st start, but the reactivation and ribbon cutting ceremony will be on March 4th at 11 a.m. Looking forward to seeing all mayors there as well as city council members if you would like to invite others. Great. Other items, Mayor Martinez?
I actually want to thank all the public speakers who made us aware that they are part of the community. I wrote down words that they used. For instance, Ryan Lau used the word reimagine. The school board person said collaboration, wastewater said transformation. These are words that will define our West County going on in the future. So I'm happy to know that everyone is looking to reinvent how we do things, at how we will move forward. And I also want to thank Cheryl Suddick, who is part of WELL. WELL has a conference on March 31st, April 1st. It will be in LA. It's WELL stands for Water Education for Latino Leaders. And their premise is that anyone who has a Latino constituent is a Latino leader. So I'm inviting all electeds to attend. Registration is $175 for electeds, and it's a great program. And one of the major issues that we need to think about is the Delta and how water is being shared between Northern California and Southern California. It's a major issue that we need to have our voice heard. And so I can send out information and as to how to register for that.
That'd be great. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Martinez. Other mayors or supervisors?
Yeah.
Mayor Walker Griffin?
Yes, this is sending an invite. We'll humble brag. We have on March 7th, our Spring into Wellness Senior Health Fair at our senior center from 2 to 4 p.m. So basically go to City Hall, you see a little door, it's a senior center. We're inviting the community out to that. It was one of my items. So thank you to my colleagues for assisting me in that. This is the first time we're doing it, want to promote health and, think outside the box for what a lot of our small cities can do. And that's it, Mayor.
Absolutely. This is the space to brag. Congratulations and looking forward to that wonderful event. Mayor Motoyama?
Thank you, Mayor Murphy. I would like to extend the invitation to anyone who would like to attend for our former Mayor Janet Abelson's memorial service, which will be held at our community center this Saturday at 1 p.m. I think most of you know, but in case someone doesn't, I just wanted to let them know about that. She was such a leader in our city, in our county. So I want to make sure that anyone who would like to attend can.
Thank you, and we appreciate that. And we adjourned our second meeting of January in the city of Pinole in adjournment of the late Janet Abelson. So thank you again for bringing that up, and please, community members, if you have time on Friday, or excuse me, Saturday, please join. And thank you again to everybody for your comments. I just have a few. I am so grateful and moved by all the love today. I appreciate that. But I also have to let you all know, I think many of us as mayors, we oftentimes get the credit. There are so many people, certainly in the audience, who I have to say thank you to. So first and foremost, I wanted to say thank you to our city clerk, Heather Bell, who has been with us since 2019 and has been incredibly phenomenal. And last week, I'm just going to be transparent. Last week, I asked her, hey, can we host this meeting at our city? And she, as much as I was nervous to ask and really, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm giving her more, she graciously just said, yes, we can make this happen. And also not only said we can make this happen, but also provided us with bagels and orange juice and coffee for an 8:30 meeting. And so I just want to say thank you so much to our city clerk, our deputy city clerk, Roxanne Stone, who joined me yesterday at Mayor London Breed's and State Controller's Black History Month celebration. For those of you who don't know, and I'm going to say this because it is still Black History Month, Roxanne Stone is our first African-American to serve in the role of deputy city clerk for the city. And it is a tremendous asset that we have. So yes, please clap that we have. And again, our city clerk's department does so much wonderful work. In the audience as well as our city manager, Andrew Murray, who has also done so much work. And every time I meet with him, I have another idea and he's like, let's make it happen. Let's make it work. So thank you so much to our city manager, Andrew Murray, for all of what you do in our city and for being here. Our Mayor Pro Tem, Maureen Toms, who has served with me since 2020 and had a stint before our election in 2020 as an appointed council member in the city of Pinole. Thank you for being here and all you do in the city of Pinole, but also for those who probably know, the county as well is doing amazing work around housing and major developments in our county. So thank you for being here. In addition, our planning commissioner, one of our planning commissioners, Rafael Menes, and one of our community services commissioners, Christy Lamb Julian, is also in the audience. So just wanted to give a lot of thanks and a lot of love because I got it and I have to dish it. Mayor Martinez.
Yes, in the same vein, I want to thank our city manager who is actually listening to this. And she said that she is meeting with the county and FEMA as the mayor, Supervisor Joya had mentioned. So we're working on that and hopefully we'll get it together. And I want to extend great thanks to my staff, Shiva Mashik and BK Williams, who have come and to support me. I am so lucky to have the best crew in the world. I know everyone else will say this, but in my world, they're the best. So thank you, Shiva. Thank you, BK, for coming and supporting me. And I know that when we get back, they will debrief me.
Yes.
Know how I can improve myself.
Thank you, Mayor Martinez. Any other final mayors and supervisors time and mayor conference items? All right, not seeing any, we will adjourn our meeting this morning at 9:30 exactly. We do have coffee and bagels and orange juice in the back in our community room. And so I'll adjourn this meeting to the meeting of Thursday, March 23rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. in the city of Pride and Purpose, which is the city of Richmond. Thank you all for being here and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Bye, Jax.
Bye.